Hello, I'm sorry for us not being able to meet in person today. I understand all the troubles that we're all going through and we'll get through it together. I just did want to present my news story. And today's news story is in relation to the at-home fine implication that could be present in some states and actually some countries. So I do want to get that. So the topic today is explaining the mass quarantine and what does it mean of shelter in place. So the shelter in place can mean a lot. It can be having variations, so it could be meaning like you can't leave your home at all unless you need that medical attention, or you can have a lax version where it's like, yeah, well, you can get your food and you can actually go places, but it does have a lot of varieties of where you're at. So according to Stats News, which receives information solely from WSOC TV, there could be more enactments of fines for leaving homes. Some state lockdowns note everyone to stay indoors. Other states include those afflicted only with the COVID-19 or people who are surrounding those people. Officially, the definition of quarantine is very specific. It is the seclusion of a personal potential exposure to the disease or a period of time to see if they become infected. A person under quarantine typically stays in one place to avoid nearly all contact with the outside world, which it does help with the spread. When such a quarantine is ordered by the government, it's illegal to violate these. So breaking this pretty much breaks federal quarantine if you leave, and it's punishable by a fine or imprisonment. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, an individual found violating a federal quarantine order could face a fine up to $100,000 a year in jail, or both, according to a report by the Congressional Research Service. Many states also have their own punishments for violating quarantine, which varies widely, as I stated prior. So here's just a few add-ons. Additionally, it must be said that currently most states and individuals can leave for reasons for medical, legal, or physical activity necessities only, with keeping the CDC's recommended spaces 6 feet from others. It is not known if this will become more strict as some cases increase, because it's on a day-by-day basis. But we do know that WSOC TV is following the story, and we currently have comments made by them. It's about the legal measures and how you can prosecute it. It's difficult to know who's going out when and why, but it's good to have implementation, so it's just another feature that we're adding in. So for these lockdown states who were affected, and here's a photo that was updated 2 days ago, but we are hoping to see lessening, but as testing becomes more available, we will probably see an upheaval of those. So here are some ethical contexts. So I did focus on utilitarianism and libertarianism. So utilitarianism states a good measure. This is a good measure through a legal bond, where the lesser percent, as well as the healthy and non-affected, remain at home, in hopes to lessen the prevent further spread of this virus, which is COVID-19. Greatest good for the most amount of people is noted by utilitarianism, and Bentham is most known for this and would agree that this view would be allowing the greatest good for most amount of people, which meaning less spread, less death. Libertarianism, on the other hand, disagrees with this notion of legal repercussions for leaving residence, regardless of your condition. Libertarianism states that the personal freedoms of yourself should not have any interference with the outside forces, such as the government. Freedom to be uninterrupted is key. The at-home order for anyone is kind of actually fully infringing on libertarian ethics rules. John Locke is most known for these views, and would agree that the use of this protocol would definitely disagree with this, since the government should infringe on personal rights such as these. So my personal ethical view, I do agree more with the utilitarian view. There are a lot of subsections that are making this more difficult, such as finances and social economics and all of these many things. Such for example, the homeless, people not being able to get things they need for not having enough money. So there are a lot of implications for this matter, unless the condition, as well as those affected and others. though this order can harm the economic growth, like I said, and social balance. Like people with less money, less will be less affected, so they can have food and supplies brought to them. But I feel like you can still use utilitarianism because that percent is still larger than the whole. People without homes are less people with homes. We're hoping that if we add more aids, which we are receiving every day, like millions of dollars, that can upkeep, hoping to help people cope with this. With additional resources to those who live in poverty and other areas, I can state this is just personally through adhering to utilitarian ethics. I did want to state my sources, so we do have that statsnews.com, WSOCTV.org, and quick thank you. Thank you for watching this, and with your patience, it's been a trying time. I kind of had to redo this entire thing. I wasn't completely prepared to have it presented this way. And I'm sure no one else is prepared for the future. So I want everyone to stay well, and we've got this. We'll get through it together.